become a digital farmer. You don't have to get your hands dirty, right?
Because
You can do
just
this.
did my nails.
Exactly, exactly. The COVID time, when everybody's country's GDP was shrinking, agriculture was actually growing.
Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Dela and I'm here with Lorraine.
Hi, Dela.
Hi. So we just finished doing this amazing interview, which if you guys haven't watched it, you definitely need to check out. But something that we spoke about, but very, very quickly, was the agriculture business. And I thought it would be really good to get a little bit more insight into what that is and how it works. Because just off camera right now, I was asking questions and I was like, this is really interesting. This is something that I want to do myself. So I thought it would be good to share it. So perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about the agriculture business, how you got into it and how it's going. How can people invest, make some money?
Yes, indeed. You know, agriculture is an area that I believe everybody should get involved in, right? And it's an area, but it also comes with its own challenges. I'm sure. Have you tried to get land, like farmland, and just tried to?
I've heard the stories. I'm like, I'm not ready yet. I need to prepare myself mentally before I go in there. Likewise,
I tried to get land. Ask me where my paperwork is. They took my money, okay? But my paperwork, I haven't seen it. And it's because of some of these challenges where this company that I'm an executive for, and I was formerly the head of sales and partnerships and one of the early founders for, called Grow For Me, this is where we come in. So we've built an agritech startup, which essentially allows for anybody to farm without getting their hands dirty. So without you having to go and buy land, without you having to go and find a farmer, you know, we do the whole work for you. So we do it. You can live in the UK, you can live in the US, and with just like, 300 Ghana cedis, you can start investing in farming in Ghana. 300
cedis or $300?
300 cedis.
Cedis?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we do is we actually work with smallholder farmers. We're really a socially driven company, right? We're backed by Google as well. So Google, we were one of the recipients of some Google funding a couple of years ago.
Right.
Because we're disrupting this space.
Right.
We're all about providing access to finance for farmers in rural areas in Ghana, right? And providing them with better livelihoods for not only themselves, but for their families as well. So the problem that exists here in Ghana is that there's a lot of land, a lot of virgin land, a lot of land going, and a lot of it's been underutilized. And the founders of this company they were doing a kind of cycle trip to Nigeria once to raise money. And they were just cycling past so much virgin land. I was like, what are we doing with it, right? And then they came to the realization that, okay, well, there's underused land, but that's because farmers also don't have the capital they need to actually start growing. So how do we solve that gap, right? How do we solve the gap of the fact that in Africa, there is actually going to be, right now in Africa, there's 1.4 billion individuals. In the next 30 years, there's going to be 2.5 billion people. We can't even feed, there's so much poverty right now, we can't even feed the 1.4 billion individuals. How much more are we going to be able to feed the people in 30 years' time?
Right.
So all of this was some of the reasons why the founders of this company came up with this idea that we want to help to, A, close the gap when it comes to food security, but B, make sure we provide financing to farmers that are in rural places that don't necessarily have the finances and they can start to grow, So, your question about, is it 300 cedis? What we do is we actually take, if you imagine an acre of land, we divide that acre of land into 8. Okay. And that 1/8 of a piece of land, on our website, which is growforme.com, you can actually grow, 300 cedis will get you an 1/8 worth of growth. Let me put this, let me make this clear, right? We grow things like soya bean, maize, cocoyam, cassava, pineapple. So we grow different crops, right? And on our website, they'll be listed with a price per unit. And our units are
the 8th.
The 8th. Right. You're onto it now.
Yep, I get it.
And we have a different price point for each one of those. So for example, pineapple is quite a costly fruit, but let's say rice. You can potentially go on our website, you can see rice, or let's say soya bean, which is probably the most inexpensive one. Soya bean on our website is going for about 300 Ghana cedis per unit, right? So what that would mean is that a farmer we will give that money, we crowdfund, right? So we crowdfund, and let's say for a particular, we'll be starting the farming in April.
Yeah.
We will crowdfund from everybody that wants to grow, and we'll start farming in April. So all that money will be gathered together, and you've got 1/8 of that money, right? We will now start farming. The farmer will now grow on your behalf, right? You can come and check out the farms anytime.
Okay.
We'll grow on your behalf, and then once the cycle has completed, we as a company, Grow For Me, will then go and trade the crops, so you don't have to sell it, export, sell it, whatever we do, right? And then generate the income, and now you'll be able to get return on that income. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Okay. So what's the profit margins like for someone that invests in something like that? Because 300 cities, I mean, I'm not going to double my money, am I?
You're not going to double your money, no. But bear in mind, that's the minimum you can invest, right? Or we call it sponsorship, right? You could say if you wanted the eight units, which is 1 acre, you can multiply that 300 Ghana cities by 8 and get that acre, right? But the returns are listed on our website. We say that these are a range. So we give a range for 2 reasons. Number one, we don't guarantee returns. Like any investment, right?
Yeah.
Any investment, we want to be very clear, right? Your capital is always going to be at risk, right? So if you say, no, I want guaranteed returns, this is not going to be for you. It is dependent on a number of factors. Number one, the rain.
Right.
I can't control the rain.
Yeah.
Right? So the rain is going to be able to help us determine, okay, how much yields can we actually get, right? So by yield, so if you're going to grow rice, and we can't tell you the moment that we put that seed in the ground that rice is going to grow. We don't know the weight of that rice, right? So what we do is we give a range, because on the high side, that rice that grows could be plentiful, it could be weighty, we bag it up, we weigh it, and we've got we've got a good yield there. We go and sell it, we get a good return. But if that seed doesn't grow or the rain doesn't come, that is the bottom end. Right. Either you've lost all your money or you get less than expected. Right. Okay. So that's why we give a range. And the ranges could range from anywhere between 10% up to 30%, right? Return on your sponsorship. Okay. Right. And that is for that period of time that's listed on our website.
Wow. Okay. So what other types of crop do you do? So you said you do pineapple, soybean, cassava,
rice, maize as well. Recently we partnered with the UN. So the UN have actually, and they're really keen on looking at how we can actually engage the diaspora more. So this is really an opportunity for the diaspora to get involved. But even more so, it's about how do we bring more female farmers into the fold. So UN have partnered with us to help to get the diaspora to actually see that we can get female farmers. Yeah. Right? So we actually have an initiative on our website where you can sponsor female farmers to grow maize. Right, and so you can check that out, and the female farmers will start to grow maize on your behalf.
Really?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing stuff. I feel like there's so many things that are happening in Ghana that are, a lot of it we just don't know about because you haven't come across it. Like this is, to me, such an amazing idea, and it's not really high risk because to invest 300, 400 cities into something with a potential return, it's money, like. What you know what I mean? Like if you have 5,000 cities to put in your 5,000 cities, you're likely to see some of it, I'm sure. You're not going to lose 5,000 cities. I mean, even if you do, it's not the end of the world. So these are little things. I think one thing about Ghana is very much about having lots of income streams, and this seems like a really easy one. Such an easy income stream. Like I just give you the money, you do the work, just bring me my money. That's it.
That's it. And so that's why we call it, become a digital farmer. You don't have to get your hands dirty, right?
Because I just did my nails.
Exactly. So we actually have 2 models. One which is the farming, right? And you spoke about risk, right? So if you are less of a risk taker, because like I said, like you can plant that seed in the ground and it might not grow. Yeah. But if you're less of a risk taker, we have another option on our website, which is commodity trading. So what we do with commodity trading is that we actually trade already grown produce. So that means the risk is not there of you having to wait for it to grow, but rather you are funding us to go and purchase already grown commodities and trade it. But the returns are lower, right? Because there's less risk, the returns are lower. You know, higher risk, high returns, right? Of course. So you go on our website, you check out commodities, and there's things like cocoa bean, there's different commodities that you can see on there, which we can actually just trade on your behalf, right? So you can see that. And if you're less of a risk taker, that option might be for you.
That's really good. So what's the kind of turnaround from like growth, from planting to, Like, is it something that can take 3 years?
It depends on the crop, right? Rice, soybean got short, like 6 months timelines, right? Something like pineapple takes like 14 months plus to grow.
Right.
So it really depends on the crop. And our website will show, okay, based on this crop, this is how long the cycle is. And the cycle is basically the moment we start preparing the land to the point we grow, to the point we sell.
Right.
So normally, depending on that timeline, there is then plus 2 months on top of that for you now to receive your returns if there is a return.
Right.
And the way that we normally do it is that there's 3 or 4 different ways you can receive your money back, right? If you're in Ghana, we highly recommend you get that back into either your Momo wallet or your bank account.
Right.
If you're international, you need to bear in mind the fluctuation of the currency.
Yeah.
You might have sent through and paid with your dollar account, and that will come to us in cedis.
Yeah.
But when we're sending it back to you, we can't guarantee what the dollar rate is going to be. So there might be, FX exchange risk in addition, right? So you want to bear that in mind if you're willing to take that, right? But then open up a bank account in Ghana, or have a Momo wallet in Ghana, and that way you can just preserve the Ghana cedi and keep it here so that you don't have to repatriate your money back and have money here from when you're in Ghana.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So from my understanding, if I buy like an eighth, right? So potentially I might have to wait a year in order to get my returns back. Yeah. What's the shortest time? What's the
about
quickest?
8 months probably. Rice or soybean probably take the quickest, right? So about 8 months, give or take, that you're expecting.
So maybe it would be a nice combination to kind of do the seed one and then the commodity one, as you're saying, so that you get faster returns on your money, right?
So you can combine the two. You can definitely get both as well. So it's great.
I really like this. So how do people get involved if they want to?
Check out the link. We'll have the link. So check out the link, and then so if anybody's interested, check out the link, and then see what we do. We've got so many videos out there of what we've done before. But as soon as you click on that link, you sign up. We need your ID. So we are actually Security and Exchange Commission regulated in Ghana, which is important. So something we make sure a lot of the finance companies in Ghana have to be regulated.
Right.
So the Security and Exchange Commission is what we're governed by. And so once we've done that, you sign up. We need your ID. So it's important that we get your ID. We get your address, your details like that. You make your payment online, and it's as simple as that. And you're done. You literally can be done in the next 5 minutes. You can be done.
And be a farmer.
And be a farmer. Okay.
I love that. Okay. There was something I was going to ask you now, and I can't remember. Obviously, I mean, why wouldn't it disappear off my head? I can't remember. And as soon as the camera stops, I remember it. But yeah, I mean, that sounds amazing to me. I love the idea behind it. I think it's something I'm going to get into myself because I think it's just, it sounds like a no-brainer to me. Indeed. So thank you so much for sharing
having me.
that.
Thank
you.
So
important.
Indeed.
I love it.
It is important.
It is. So thank you guys. That's the end. Really, seriously, go ahead and... I know what I was going to ask you. Yes, because it was disturbing me, thank God. What if someone wants to get involved with more of the business side of it rather than the farming?
Oh,
so if they want to...
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. So we do have options for people that actually want to invest into the company itself, right? So again, so I think what they can do is contact me. So my email address is lorraine@growforme.com. Get in touch with me, and we have an investor pitch deck as well. We do have a lot of diaspora investors. As I said, Google has invested in us. Right. We partner with the UN. And so you can invest in our company. There's a small ticket size to get involved. We're actually raising our seed round. We've done our pre-seed, we've done our seed round. In fact, we closed our seed round recently, but you're welcome to invest in our company regardless anyway, and get involved in what's happening. Because it's the future of agriculture.
It really is. No, it is. We all need to eat. You can't go without food, right?
And that's the point, actually. On that point, this company started during the COVID years. And what I realized is that, you know, when it was lockdown, what was everybody rushing out to go and buy?
I know.
They was going out to go and buy food.
Yeah.
And that food, part of the value chain, is agriculture, right? And what I realized that during the COVID time, when everybody's country's GDP was shrinking, agriculture was actually growing, right? So it goes to show you that, and I think when you think about Maslow's theories of needs, and this, I'm going back to school now. We're going there. Okay, we'll make it back. Okay. When we talk about Maslow's theories of needs, there's a triangle, right? You look at the bottom of the pyramid. The bottom of the pyramid always says that water, shelter, food is the basic
human needs.
Human needs. I think they add Wi-Fi now, right?
Really? Oh wow. Okay.
But food there as a basic human need means that you can't go wrong when it comes to investing in food. That's why restaurants in Ghana do so well, right? But investing in agriculture at the beginning of the value chain, you're always going to get something out of it.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much for
welcome.
sharing. I'm so inspired, honestly. Yeah, so guys, please head over, check out Lorraine if you need to. I put your details on screen so that everyone can check you out. Do head over to their website if you're interested in investing. I'm going to put a link into the description box so you can use that link to access the website and see all the things that they're farming. If you're interested in that, it's a really great idea, trust me. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to also like, comment, and share this video. Until next time, we are out. Nutitfafa.